small chance that the sun will, I mean, the technical term is a coronal mass ejection, but I prefer to call it sunbath. It just spits something out of the corona. Maybe we'll be able to see something.
Right, so this is a little further north from where we are, Leicester. They're great shots, aren't they?
It's gorgeous. And I wonder if we can see any sunspots on those images. It's quite hard to see here in Newquay.
So time-wise, what are we looking at?
Yeah, okay, so you can I mean, it's very gentle, but just watch that moon just very, very slowly moving across the sun. And, you know, it feels like the moon's taking chunks out of the sun, doesn't it? So it's not eating up the sun, it's okay.
This is what this is where we are now. But I mean, this because in the old, this is what they used to say. That monsters were taking
chunks out of the sun.
The
dragons come down. Yeah. I mean, I just sort of imagining what it must have been like for the sun to completely disappear and to not know why, and that fear that they must have had in the past of it not coming back.
Exactly.
It's great that scientists worked it all out.
Not knowing why, not knowing why it's gone dark, not knowing when it will come back, the sun, not knowing whether it will come back. It must be terrifying.
Yeah.
Here we are, Spain now.
Spain. And now this image is taken through a different filter, so you can actually see that sort of granulation on the surface of the sun, which is sort of like this bubbling layer of plasma on the surface of the sun. And what's quite interesting is whether there are going to be any of these sort of plasma coming out of the surface of the sun in these ejections. And there are some spots on the sun at the moment, not too many, just a couple of small ones. And that's where the surface of the sun is just slightly cooler, which is why it looks dark.
Yeah, so we're Villa Levado, is that image there in Spain where they are expecting...
What it's like for us here in the UK when we reach the peak of our partial solar eclipse. So sadly we're not going to get the totality here in the UK, but we will get something as magical as this in about half an hour's time or so, depending on where you are in the UK.
And this is special for Iceland, the first total eclipse, I think since the 50s, 1954.
Yeah, so total eclipses, they happen relatively often, but in very small regions of the globe. So if you pick any random place on the surface of the Earth, you'll only get a total eclipse every 375 years on average. Now, some places get it more often than that, some places get less. But for Iceland, this is rare, and you know, we haven't seen anything like this in the UK since 1999, Mark.
No. How special a moment is this for Iceland? I heard it described this morning as a once-in-a-century moment.
You know, it is once in a while. If you're not prepared to do some eclipse chasing, oh look, it's getting closer and closer, Mark. If you're not prepared to do eclipse chasing and go and travel the world to hunt down these total eclipses, then you know it is a once-in-a-lifetime event. And look, that's the eclipse is getting darker and darker. And what will be happening in Iceland at the moment? Well, it will feel like it's night time, and soon enough they'll be able to see the stars in their daytime sky, just because the entire light of the sun has been blocked out by the moon.
So their evening world is, you know, plunged into twilight in quite a dramatic way, isn't it?
Not twilight, total darkness.
Well, it will be soon.
Yeah, right now, very soon. It's going to be total darkness, like night. But for just a couple of minutes, as the moon keeps moving, then the sun will appear on the other side.
So how dark do you think it will go here?
Now, here, for 96, it's going to be
It won't be an eclipse to that extent, will it?
We're not, it's hard to tell. Half the time, that's getting close to 98-99% there now. So for us, it's definitely going to get darker here in the UK. But the difference between a 99% partial eclipse and totality is actually huge, because if you just at a 99% eclipse, you don't get that sky go completely dark and the stars coming out.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased it's cloud free for our friends in Iceland. This is marvellous.
Yes, there were all sorts of fears that it wouldn't be. Listen to Brian May, who loves his astrophysics.
He is an astrophysicist.
He is an astrophysicist.
He has a PhD.
He's got a PhD I saw that. Yeah. And he was saying that it actually reminds us what small players we are in this universe.
Yeah.
So now look here. This is the corona beginning, isn't it?
Fantastic.
This is spectacular.
So people call this a diamond ring. You just get this. Now at this point in Iceland, they can take off their eclipse protection. And gosh, can you see the prominence there in the bottom left-hand corner? So that's a sheet of plasma coming out of the surface of the sun. Oh, how marvellous is that, Mark? Gosh, look at that. It must be so magical. I wish we were there. Maybe we should have done this gig in Iceland.
I'm surprised you didn't go. But listen, we're very glad you're here. So now, this is the phenomenon that we were talking about earlier, the corona. Just explain that again and why scientists are so keen to find out more about that and what it offers scientists.
Yeah. So the corona is this big mystery when it comes to the sun. You know, you'd think our closest star in the universe, we would know everything there is to know about it. We understand what's happening in the core of the sun, but when we look at the surface of the sun, it's about 5,000 degrees Celsius. But the corona is sort of the atmosphere around it, which produces these coronal mass ejection events that cause the gorgeous aurora, the northern lights, that we get to sometimes see here. That is about 1 million degrees Celsius, and we genuinely don't understand how it heats up to such a temperature. And it's important for us to know, you know, aurora are beautiful. There's gorgeous northern lights when we see the ejector from the sun. It flies across the solar system and hits into our atmosphere. Most of it bounces off thanks to our magnetic field, but some of it comes down at the poles to produce the northern lights. And that, if there is a really massive coronal mass ejection event, then that is actually a problem for society here on Earth. And people do worry about space weather and what impact that has on us here on Earth. And so we really want to understand the corona better. Gosh, look, Rob, it's gone completely dark now in Iceland.
Yeah.
They'll be starting to see the stars, and some of the planets are up at the moment as well, so they'll be able to see them.
Yes, well, I was going to say, let's just stop and enjoy the picture, but it is, well, it's stunningly dark, isn't it?
And here comes the lid of the sun now coming out on the other side. It's a very quick total eclipse, this one. So it's just a couple of minutes long, and here the sun starts coming back out again.
Let's just watch and wonder at these pictures. This is a different picture now. This is a picture from another broadcaster in Iceland. This is in Reykjavik, shot from the ground, and it's the light kind of slowly returning, as you can see there. There we are. I mean, this is the darkness it was plunged into.
Oh, gosh.
How eerie is that as the light?
Very eerie. Our friends in Reykjavik appear to be under the clouds. Oh, that's a shame. But look here, the sun's coming back out again. So they have been put into pitch black darkness for just a couple of minutes. Now the sunlight returning.
Yeah, and this is the original shot from the RUV, the state broadcaster of the total eclipse in Iceland.
Now the moon is still moving in front of the sun, and that path of totality is now going to move south across the seas and come down until we see a path of totality in Spain. And right now here in the UK, I'm looking, we're about half covered here in the UK at the moment.
Wonder and in awe at that shot that we are showing there now. That pretty much halfway across, would you say now?
Yeah, almost. It's only way to really see where a new moon is during a partial eclipse like this, and there it is, right in front of the sun.
So in terms of, you know, what kind of partial eclipse we'll see, how much of the sun do you think will be covered?
So we're down in Newquay, so we are getting a 96% partial solar eclipse. For my friends up in Scotland, it's slightly less, 90% up there. But you're going to, when we reach the peak of our partial solar eclipse here in the UK, it will be just like a crescent at the edge of the sun. Not quite completely over, but we are agonisingly close to a total eclipse, just like our friends just saw in Iceland.
Yeah.
So yes, what you can see here in Iceland, that is similar to the sort of the level of the partial solar eclipse that we're going to be able to see here.
Okay, Catherine, keep those glasses on, keep monitoring things here for us. We're going to go up to Bath and